Welcome, everyone. I'm Udit Methila, and it's a pleasure to have you join us for episode 13 of Designing for the Desert, a webinar series presented by Green Grid Designs, where every Sunday at 2 p.m. Dubai time, we explore how architecture and sustainability can come together to shape resilient, human centric environments in arid regions. In the last episode, we explored microclimates and the art of designing thermal comfort with Simona Azzulli, who helped us understand how even the smallest environmental adjustments can transform the livability of desert cities. Today, we take the conversation into a new and fascinating direction, looking at the intersection of tradition, innovation, and technology in one of the most culturally significant spaces in the region, the mosque. Our guest speaker today, Malak Hasan, is an architect and urban planner with a master's degree from the American University of Sharjah and extensive experience leading Malak Ali Islam Architecture Consultancy in Dubai. Her visionary work explores how AI, sustainability, and cultural identity can together redefine the way we design faith spaces of the future. In this session, The Mosque of 2050, Malak takes us on a journey through what the mosque could become, a space of spirituality, community, and resilience, integrating smart systems, climate responsive design, and sustainable innovation while honoring the essence of faith and tradition. So let's dive into this thought provoking session, The Mosque of 2050, AI driven sustainable design for future faith spaces with Malak Hasan.
Thank you so much. Uh, First of all, good afternoon, everyone. And I would like to thank you for having me here. And it's an honor to present the mosque, the vision of the mosque in 2025, and how AI will guide in the exploration of faith, sustainability, artificial intelligence, and sustainability in the future of the United Arab Emirates and the region, hopefully. And the how it will be a model of architecture and uh, environments. And I have two things I would like to share with you. First of all, I cannot. I'm not sure if the presentation. Yeah, the presentation is there. Perfect. And let's dive into the topic itself uh, together. Personally, I think this is a very interesting topic since the mosque is an important architectural place. I think I think it's an architectural function that gather everyone in the region. And it's not only a religious place, but it has been before and up to today, where a place where everyone do gather, an urban place where everyone do gather. So let me move to why does it matter? If we can say why does it matter? If we say why does it matter, because there are so many UAE. It's a hot region, and there is in the future. It's today and in the future. There will be a rising temperature, limited resources, of course, that we will face. So many social challenges, of course, and mosque will evolve, and we have our traditional uh, the traditional. Um, I don't want to say traditional function, but we have our traditional aspects, and everything that will combine together. That we have to, it has to work all together with the fast growing aspect that we have. Um, uh, Everything is going so fast. We have to work together to see how it will work. So to move forward, there are so many sustainable pillars that we have in sustainability. They are, of course, known for everyone that works in sustainability. We have the pillar of water, material, energy, and maintenance. In water, of course, we have the limitation of water, we have uh, the energy, we have the material, and we have the maintenance. I made the topics that I will go through is the AI, artificial intelligent driven mosques, sustainability mosque, where I will discuss two case study. I want to showcase everyone which have been done in UAE. One of the mosques that has been completed in 3D printing. The other mosque that was completed in a passive design. I will discuss in Abu Dhabi, one of them in Dubai and the other one in Abu Dhabi. Then I will discuss in depth the how water efficiency is another aspect of sustainability, and how to reuse, how we can reuse water efficiency. The long lifespan also is another important topic of future masjids. I will use either the word masjid or mosque, and the community crisis, how masjid can be used as community crisis shelters. This is another vision of how we can see masjid tomorrow, and future practices of the masjid or mosque. Case studies. I think the first case study I will talk about is the one in Masdar City, which is a net zero masjid. A lot of people do think that we are in today in 2025, and so many people, when we consider talking about either net zero or sustainable masjid, they do have the image that it did not we did not reach it up to today, and it had not been achieved. But I think this is a false idea, and the expectation that this technology was not achieved, and they wait for the future to achieve this. But in reality, in UAE, with the harsh climate and with all of the challenges that we have, there are a lot of pilot projects where it has been achieved. So with all the situation that, or with all the challenges that we have today, it has been achieved that we have a net zero energy mosque. So this is the goal, I think, of presenting or doing this webinar, or me choosing this topic, is to showcase that it has been done with all of the great minds that we have. The first case study is Masdar City, where they have achieved in a plot of 1,590 square meter. They have achieved with 1,300 worshipper they have achieved a net zero energy mosque. The great thing about this mosque is that they have used remedy earth walls. They have achieved natural thermal mass. They have reduced their cooling energy by 35%. They have the certification from LEED. So it is a certified masjid, and they have they have reduced their water consumption by 55%. They have reduced they have the photovoltaic panels, and they have reduced their consumption of energy by 35%. The construction material is a local construction material from it's a combination of construction material from the land itself from Abu Dhabi. So all the exercise was done, and it has succeeded. So in regards to achieving a net zero masjid, it has been done and it is in use. So as if we consider it if we are saying that we will wait for a project to be done, we don't have to say that we are waiting for the project to be achieved. No, it is achieved and it is in use already. This is for the case study of one, but today we can, for us as engineers or as researchers, today what we are doing is taking the feedback of how the record of it. This is the second part of having a sustainability project, is to get the records of how sustainable material will work on time. With normal projects, if we compare, let's say, we cannot say that we are comparing apple to apple, but we are comparing apple to orange. So in concrete, we had a lot of records to how concrete performs, and in so many years of having the same material and their performance and how they do react to weather, and we have all of these information. But today with sustainable material, and since they are in the research and in development, what we do today with these materials is we are gathering the record of how the performance of it. Having AI, um, um, combining AI with sustainable material, this will give us the best feedback in the performance. This is the second thing, is how we can get the best record of material. Case study number two, oh sorry, in case study number two is the 3D printing, because we have two type of sustainability method of construction. We have the past 3D printing technology, which is a new technology and sustainability, and we have the passive the passive performance architecture, right? So 3D printing, 3D printing technology is a very new technology in sustainability. And the second case study I would like to discuss is the 3D printing mosque in Dubai, which is around, it will cover an area of 2,000 square meter construction area. It will be completed in 2026, which is, and it will have around between 455 to 600 worshippers. It has three robotic arms that will work together printing the mosque, which is an amazing technology. This is not the first time that the city of Dubai is printing and doing 3D printing building or structure. So I think the municipality of Dubai is familiar with 3D printing because they did the villa, they did the office of Sheikh Mohammed bin Rashid. So they are familiar with the technology of 3D printing. The amazing thing of the 3D printing technology is always they are using the material, the material of the 3D printing. This is the technology itself. It's not the robotics, but it's the material, the mix of concrete with the local material. So this is the technology. This is the advantage of using the technology itself. So it's the mix of the material of the concrete within the concrete with what we can say the combining the mixture itself. So in this case, there will be also it is a full sustainable mosque. So also we're not saying that we will have a sustainable mosque by, let's say, 2030 or by 2025. It will be completed and ready for use by 2026. So already, I'm not saying I'm promoting UAE as an Emirati, but I'm saying UAE is showcasing a lot of existing sustainable certified buildings, which are not even masjid, which are different buildings which are certified from LEED, BREM, different certification, SAFAT, different. If it's not local certification, it's international certification. Then I will move to the next uh, slide. AI. This is the part which is for me the main part, which I think is the main part for me. AI. AI is the future is the AI driven smart mosque or masjid. Uh, I consider this the main part. Why? Because having AI combining with the masjid, you will have an adapted climate control in the future, either it's in 2030 or 2050. You will have a security control, you will have a real time prayer, crowded management, all of these aspects that will be that can control the maintenance, governance. All of these aspects can control the environment of the mosque. The one of the challenging aspect of the mosque today is how the maintenance and operation. It's a huge challenge. And any, not if we're not talking only about the masjid, we're talking about normal buildings. So AI is the future. So when it's combined or within the whole itself, it will control the HVAC system, lighting, arrival, experience. We will create such an experience, a convenience experience based on the crowd itself. How many crowd people coming, or the population that are coming to the mosque in the same time. We can have the face recognition if it's required, and it will go hand in hand with the next slide that I will explain, which is related to the a future study, where I don't want to go ahead of myself, but the lifespan of the people in future, how they will have a longer lifespan. And I know that some of the people may say that I want to have my own privacy, but it can even control if the wellness, if you want someone to check your wellness, because it's a public space. But if I want to have more accessibility for these places to see if I have a fever or something, and I would like them to check if I would like them to have the accessibility through my phone to check my temperature, or to check if I will have some kind of in advance, because some people suddenly you hear that some people suddenly have a heart attack or something. It can help you in advanced recognition through artificial intelligence. Some of these, if you will allow, personally in advance, I will allow this tracking. Okay, if I don't want to allow it, some people do not want to allow it. It's up to you with the with such an accessibility. But for the building itself, controlling the building, sound system, lighting. A lot of the masjid have a problem with closing security the door, opening the door. All of these problems will end. So artificial design, artificial AI smart mosque will help with a lot of problem. Then I want to move to sustainable mosque. This is one of the, I think, also another important slide, which is about the net zero and net positive designs. We have the option in sustainable design masjid is either to have the option of building it in either net zero, either 3D printing construction in future or today in by 2050, 2030, closed loop water. So these construction can be closed loop water. We can have the living facade, living roofs, because already these practices are done today. They don't have to be done in a normal practice, but they can be done in a sustainable way. Moving forward, the passive climate designs. The passive climate designs are done in already in consideration of many aspects, which is the aspect of orientation and shading, the thickness of the thermal mass of the thickness of the massing of the walls. A lot of aspects are the courtyard and natural and natural ventilation, which is part of our culture, even in our old Emirati design. We used to have the courtyard, we used to have the natural ventilation through the wind towers. So it's not like we say it is something new to our culture, but it's something we had uh, through many generations in our architecture, and not for only Emiratis, but for all the GCC areas and a lot of the surrounding areas, and I can say in Asia overall. So it's not something weird. A lot of people maybe will think that's something new. No, it's not something new to the Asian, to the Even for me, if when I was discussing with a lot of people from India, even they had this the courtyards. So it's the practice of heritage design to the people in Asia. So it's not something new for us. Maybe in other countries it is new, but the people in Asia, they had these designs. So the courtyards, the wind towers, it was there in architecture for us. So the passive climate design, it is our design. So because we had the challenge of the weather from beginning, we know it. And using even the knowing about the orientation, knowing about the natural material, the how to build from our local material. I know that some people will teach us about it, but we don't have to be taught. Um, it is we know how to do it because in our from our we don't have to be taught. It's done now that that someone comes and teaches about it in the literature and in the book. But already it's if you go to our old building, it's there. But the practice is okay if someone will talk about it, we don't mind to hear about it, that it's part of the rules and regulation. But for us, passive cl- design or mm, this thing for me is in sustainability is rule of thumb. It's not new. If you talk about 3D printing, okay, I may understand because it's technology and it's robotics. But when you talk about the material itself and combining it with the natural and okay, I may understand that you need something from the soil itself, and okay, it's fun for me because it's nice that. But passive design, it's part of the culture. It's nothing new. Sorry to say this, but I'm very honest about it.
Yes, I think definitely this is, passive design is something that comes from the roots of a place. And in each place, there are different types of passive design in different parts of the world, some for cold climate, some for hot climate, some for humid climates. And I think what happens is maybe it's everyone sharing each other's, ways of doing things. Some might have learned from each other in the past as well. And I think it's more also today, a lot of the local constructions are, going into glass and concrete, and it's many of the old things have, reduced. So maybe that's why things like al-safat and things like that help to preserve the old ways, the wisdom, and
Hmm.
maybe that's where it can help to bring it back in some ways, and bring back
Yeah,
the past.
totally right. Because when they speak about passive designs, then you get mixed up. The young people get mixed up about passive design. They think when you hear about passive design in another region, then you get mixed up about, oh, I have to apply it. But then the passive design is different in your region. It's not totally, it's not applicable about you. But then you have to understand that passive design is applicable to your place, how it's your temperature, where are you. This is the way
Yes,
passive design works, right?
yes, yes.
Is it
The climate.
humid or humid, right? Is it
Yeah,
it's this is what passive design is.
right, right. You cannot copy paste it
You
just from
cannot.
one place to the other place.
Yes.
Yes, yes,
Then I will move to the next slide. Water efficiency. And then with water efficiency, the amazing thing about water efficiency that you will see the water efficiency is applicable to not only masjid, to any place, but it is So easy to apply it to masjid or mosque. Why? Because you can reuse the gray water, the recycled gray water. You can use the low flow fixtures, the smart irrigation, the and the native landscape. We have a lot of native landscape in UAE, which is not only our native landscape is so beautiful, gorgeous. We have native landscape, and also one point I want to before I explain the others, the behavior. The behavior is kind of challenging, and it needs education in any aspect. In any building you have to spend time on the awareness, educating people. In any sustainable building, the awareness and the teaching people to how to react in any sustainable place requires time. This is an important message. So it's not like how you react with a normal building. A sustainable building is different than a normal building. So even you will see the way people react to the low flow fixtures. You will see that they get upset with the low flow fixtures, the normal people, because today there are the low flow fixtures, but people do not prefer to use it. They they say that there is a problem with it. It's there actually there's no problem with it. It's a sustainable fixtures, but because of the low awareness, they think that it has an issue. This is why the education about sustainability should increase in time, and it will increase in time up to 2025. It's part of education, awareness. This is why a lot of education starting now from schools. They tell them about sustainability. They tell them to start using. I was seeing my nephew, he's doing using the Amazon boxes and doing recycling projects. This part of it's not like our generation now. I'm 45. It's different, totally different generation than the younger kids who are aware about it. So, but the percentage now, a lot of mosque today, with the consumption of they do use today the normal masjid, they do use fixtures which are normal fixtures, and their water consumption are 50 to 60%. So even with the normal fixtures, their water efficiency are 50 to 60%, which are considered sustainable. By 2050, they will reduce it to 70 to 80%. Imagine how much reduction there will be in water efficiency. So there will be automatically this semi-closed loop. So if there will be this semi-closed loop and someone wants to create a zero or a 100%, or he used an AI mosque, he can create this closed mosque and 100% with AI a mosque. Or even today, if they apply an AI sustainable mosque, they can create this full closed mosque if they are willing to do this experiment of smart technology mosque. So with this amazing market of UAE, or let's say any country who's willing to do the experiment, then moving forward, the longer lifespan. طبعا in today we can see that we can have the with all of these we can have the low carbon adapted security control, we can have the crowd management. A lot of the challenges that we have in Jum'ah prayer, Eid prayer, Ramadan, we have some of these challenges with the crowd. We can have also the personalized worship experience. It's not like personalized as a personalized experience, but because we go pray in Ramadan, we face some of the challenges with the temperature of AC. A lot of the time that I'm talking about a personal experience, that some of the time people will say when they pray, it's very hot, it's very cold, close the AC, turn it off. So with AI, it immediately can manage the atmosphere based on the experience of everyone to make it personalized, that the people are feeling comfortable. This is the thing about smart system, and controlling the crowds, controlling the AC, that the flow is not too much in one person, controlling it. One of the challenges that you see that the flow is really strong on one person, he's starting to getting shiver. The other one is kind of feeling hot. So the control of experience. Moving forward, one of the ideas that I was thinking of is due to the crisis that have happened in COVID, and such crisis can happen anytime. In all communities, masjid is there. It's located in every community, and it's a public place where everyone know, either Muslims or non-Muslims. They know the place. They know where it's located, and in case of any kind of crisis, this can be a shelter. It can be adapted as a hybrid design, where in just in case the government requires to change it, it can be changed in the case of for a safety, for communication of the government. It can collect data and controls. It can be a place for supply and logistic. It can combine all of these. Rather than what happened is to build a new crisis hub. This hub can satisfy the community itself because it's always there. It usually combine the community service and in the urban places. It can be also utilized as a shelter. The other point, the minaret, the future practices. In future, we have the minaret, because the minaret, it does not have to be only an architecture feature. Because of the weather, we have so many changes in the weather, and we can use the minaret as an more of not only an architecture feature, but of feature that can collect data, changes in the weather, any storms that will come, information related to any aspect that needed. This is what I want to refer to. Due to all the storms that happened lately, I forgot the word in English, zalazil, even the earthquakes, it can give information related to this as well. Because with having sensors built in the mosque itself, you can get a lot of information. Now the sensors does not have to be installed outside the material itself. Smart sensors can be already applied within the material of construction, where it can collect the information that you require in future. I think took a lot of the time, so I will move very fast. Funding and government in the vision of 2031, there is the grey water recycle, the low flow fixtures, the smart irrigation, and behavior of monitoring. I think I covered this. I will move only to challenges. We have some of the challenges that we have in UAE is the heat resilience. طبعا of course this is a huge challenge in UAE. We have the mobility, integration mobility between the masjid and the um, between the masjid and the prayers, the identity, creating a new identity for the future masjid, having all of this and creating the future and identity, and having new policies, how we can create these new policies that are more flexible for these new models. And another thing that I want to just end up my talk with we have to consider that the with the in the future the in the that what was discussed in the global the agenda of the global 50, they have discussed the aging. I already talked about how people will have a longer lifespan. They have also discussed what will be the material revolution. They have discussed a very important point of the new material revolution, that there will be a material that will be so strong. There are wood material that composed that will be stronger than glass. The lifespan of it, there is a new material that can be used, that their lifespan is how they can be their lifespan is so strong that can be used in construction. These things, architects, engineers have to think about how they can use them in technology, the future technology. They even discussed that there are some of the they have discussed also that the lifespan of everything, that material will stay, the energy will the you don't need, there are material that will give you energy, that will provide energy itself. So the future is totally different than what we know. I think the way we are thinking today is so backwards that we cannot imagine what will happen in the next 5 years. If we read this, what have been written, we're so backwards. I think we are even 20 years backwards. That the way we are discussing the future is not even moving with the vision of the foundation of Sheikh Mohammed bin Rashid. يعني what has been discussed is beyond our expectation for 2050. So that's it. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Malak. That actually took us very deeply into understanding what's possible. It's truly inspiring to see how technology and tradition can coexist, and also how AI, material innovation, and sustainable planning can work hand in hand to reimagine such an integral part of our cultural and urban fabric. What stands out most from your talk is how the mosque of the future isn't just about architecture, or it's not just about smart systems and technology, but it's also very much about the people, the communities, and the shared sense of purpose. So now let's take a few moments to explore some of these ideas a little bit deeper. So we'll move into our question answer segment where I'll ask you a few questions to unpack some of the key themes from the presentation, from AI and climate design and passive design, and evolving some of the identity of spiritual spaces in modern cities. All right. So, my first question is about your vision of 2050. So, you call the future mosque a climate oasis and a resilience hub. So, what inspired this idea, and how do you see it reshaping the role of mosques in community life?
I called it. Can you repeat the question?
Yes. So, you talked about the mosque in the future as a climate oasis and as a resilience hub. So it's also a place for shelter, and it's also a place that responds to the climate. So, what inspired the idea of combining these two aspects? And how do you see it changing the way community sees the mosque?
Um, the UAE, see, in my opinion, uh, the UAE itself, it's always have been seen as a, a, a place of harsh temperature, like a hard. They always have seen it as a place with a harsh, hard temperature by everyone that came to it. When you ask anyone who have visited UAE or their first impression about UAE, their first answer is that, oh, it's so hot. It's like humidity and like humid. The, this is their answer, you know. They never tell you that it's an oasis. So this is their reaction to it. They don't see the positive side, but they see this side of it. I like to ask this question. What do you think about it? What was your experience? How was it? Although when you really see UAE and the experience is always personally I rate it 10 out of 10 personally, but maybe you know when you are a person of the country, you will always give it the that's what they always give you this answer, right? They don't. It depends on the, but they are maybe honest about it.
Right, right. So the
You
reference
know,
point
but
always.
but let me continue my answer. They always give this answer that although everywhere is AC and controlled and connected and mobility is there, taxis are AC. And in other countries that I went to, there is no AC in the taxis. The difference is there. But they always see the hard. I think the expectation is always they need higher and higher. And it's nice to expect always this. I love that the expectation is so high. It's amazing for me that the expectation is so high of my country. I love it. But the thing is that it's nice you said that it's, in your opinion, it's an oasis, which is right. Combining now in the future, I think it should not be always depending on the aspect of, it's more of combining smartness. Not only, I don't think it's combining, it's also technology. There is the part of technology, but innovation, how you can combine innovation with the right solutions, because people are very creative anyway. The people here, the population here is so creative and intelligent. So how they can combine the right solution in creating a more sustainable place, that the weather will not change. There's nothing that will change. It will get harder with the global warming. It will get harder and harsher. The temperature will get higher. It's almost 60 now, Celsius. So it will get more with the global warming all over the world. It's getting harder. So we should have more innovative people that should create this oasis in a nicer way. That when people, you ask them, what do you think? They should not say that we need more HVAC, AC. No, they should come and they should enjoy it with more of landscape and more of mobility. They should walk, they should enjoy it with more innovation. This is my answer.
All right. Thank you very much for that reflective answer. My next question is about AI and automation. So you mentioned adaptive climate and security control systems. And how much do you think that AI can do to improve the energy efficiency and the user comfort without changing the spiritual atmosphere of the mosque?
I think AI can do a lot. AI is a system that do serve human based on how you control it. The spiritual part will not be affected. So AI today do add a lot to the security. You can see how AI do support the airports. AI have added to a lot of channels. I cannot say how and the way it did, but AI did really support a lot of sectors today in many countries. Not only we can say UAE, but many countries, from cyber attack, from many. The AI is an amazing technology. If it's used correctly, it did. In the religious part, it will enhance to the spiritual part. I don't think it will decrease the spiritual part, but it will do enhance to the spiritual part. Because today the spiritual part is really affected because of the low maintenance, because of the operation of the masjid. The operation is a very challenging part of the masjid. So creating it, it's not just create having a beautiful building or architecture. The maintenance and operation, it do add to be spiritual. So having an AI controlling this, not humans, it will really, really add to the spiritual part.
All right. My third question to you is about water efficiency. Your slides showed us that the future mosques could reduce the potable water use by almost 80%. So, what practical technologies or behaviors, both from the like low flow technologies you mentioned, or even the way people use the technologies in behavior and technology, what could make it possible, at least to start today, and over time become more and more the normal way of using water and saving water?
In water technology,
Yeah.
water technology, there are a lot of things that they can use in water technology. Water recycling, the harvesting. I know we cannot do a lot of harvesting in UAE, but there are certain times that we can do the harvesting of water, but it will not add that much. But the recycling is a major part in masjid. Um, the native plantation is very important. There are another technology, but it's not part of it is actually part of the see, an important part is the fixtures and the having in the 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 passive design. I think it's very important. Passive design is very important of having a right architecture. We cannot say that only. I know mosque is mainly about wudu. The water is very important in the practice of wudu. But wudu in Islam, it's the way you use water. So it's part of education. R- Rasul alayhi salatu wasalam, when he said to make wudu, he did not say that you have to play with water, you know. And landscape is not about having fountains, and landscape is not about having so many fixtures. It's about conserving water. So it's more mainly about the knowledge of the true practice of Islam. It's not about um, fancy fanciness. This is my opinion.
All right. So, my fourth question to you is about the materials and the material innovation. Um, in the net zero energy mosque in Masdar, or the 3D printed mosque in Dubai, both use very unconventional materials. And what do you think these projects can teach us about combining tradition and innovation?
In these projects, I think these projects were meant to be um, like a prototype, one of the one of a kind symbolic materials. So this is why, as you said, they were they used not, I will not say different interiors, but they had to stand up. The project in Masdar City, the project in Dubai as 3D material. But in my point of view, anyone who is building a masjid can build a sustainable masjid, or a normal, like a sustainable masjid in their own budget. Today you can use a sustainable material building your from concrete, from you can make the walls sustainable by using like double glaze. You can use the coating, special type of coating. It's available in the market, so you can do today a sustainable mosque. Not, I'm not saying that you do not only the government projects can build a sustainable material, sustainable material. I think I do recommend that any donator build a sustainable masjid today. I know it's not the answer to your question, but I want to take this opportunity to say that building a sustainable masjid is available for everyone. Just using the correct technology, it's possible for everyone. There are a lot of quotes in the market that can reduce the temperature by 10% degrees. There are the solid block that if you put it in a way that will reduce. There are the foams that will be put again that will reduce the temperature. So there are techniques that you can use that will help you to create the solid walls that will, or precast walls that will help you to create this isolated or passive design mosque that will create this sustainable mosque or passive design mosque, effective mosque. So you can do it. It's not only limited to Masdar or to municipality. Any private going to Awqaf can create a sustainable reduction mosque in 80, 60, or even efficient water low efficient water system, gray water system. They can do it today. So it's possible for everyone.
Right, right, right. Um, so when you're talking about AI, and I'm coming back to AI again, but this time when you're talking about applying AI into facility management, you talked about predicting how many people are there, predicting the maintenance requirement when there's based on the occupancy, and tracking the occupancy using sensors and transforming the AFCAF operations. How do you see data shaping how one governs or maintains the mosque of the future?
Um, this is, I see it as real-time data, which is,
Okay.
in my opinion, it's very today, and with AI, it's today AI is real-time information at the same time. So with the masjid, it will be, of course, real-time information. Any maintenance, any requirement, any leakage, uh, um, any damages, crowd, accidents, failures. It will be in real time. So the best thing about AI technology, it's always at real time and also in advance before problem happens. So let's say you will have a maintenance that will be required in 2 weeks in advance. You will need change of parts. It will be ordered, shifts, anything in advance. So this is the thing about operation and maintenance. Lighting, switch off, close doors. Whenever the prayer is done, door will be closed automatically. So no need for the employees to work. Imam to close, switch off doors, crowds. If someone happened, ambulance is required, police is required, civil defense, fire happened, someone is not there. So AI is controlling um, any situation. So this is what happened even with smart homes. Let's say smart homes. This is the technology of having smart homes. So public buildings should be controlled as uh, how homes, smart homes are controlled.
Right, right, absolutely. So while we do it for the homes, we should also be able to integrate these into the mosques. Um, Now, coming to a very important aspect that you brought up is about how one uses and thinks of the mosques as a place of shelter during a crisis. You talked about using it as a place of refuge where, in times of need or in times of calamity or crisis, one can think of the mosque as a place where one can find safety. So, what are the design elements which can make that possible and still keeping it culturally appropriate and as a place of worship as well?
Mm. And a lot of the thing is that you will see in most of the crises, these places were closed and it was not in use. But if you think of the urban design in most of the countries, in the crisis, whenever crisis happened, they use the fields, the football fields, and they. One of the things that happened is that it is actually a distance, a long distance for people to drive. And in our, let's say, in our crisis, we had to use for the vaccination, we had to drive all the way to the, let's say, the World Trade Center, and they had to create a place, a new place, and they had to create hospitals from zero, which was fantastic. But it really had to cost a lot of investments. Another aspect that in each community, you will have a mosque, right? That can be designed to facilitate the community itself rather than closing these mosques. If they are created as two in one, which is as a crisis place, it can facilitate in a walking distance. So you don't have to walk if, let's say, mobility is not allowed or mobility allowed, it can combine both. It's a similar as an urban planner. It can, when I'm thinking as an urban planner, it can facilitate having beds. So it will be less investment for the government. It is in a walking distance. Police can come there. They can secure the place. It can be used for any issue. It will not have a lot of people. It will only have the community itself. So no, there will be no crowdness like the crowdness that happens in all of these places. No panic, so less panic because only the people of the community will be there, so they are familiar with each other. So it's less management. So smaller group, less management, more relaxation, and everyone can go home rather than having huge crowded, more panic. A lot in the other places, the elderly got affected. The older people in age got affected because of being scared. In community, they are familiar with each other. So it's better for the community itself and handle.
Right. Thank you. Thank you. So that really gives us an idea of how one can deal with these kind of situations and the special role that the mosque can play in
Yeah.
those times of need. Now, another aspect which you talked about, which was the smart minarets. The minarets can be turned into more than just an aesthetic element, but it can be made into a data-driven environmental sensor. That was a really fascinating concept, and how could we redefine the meaning of these cultural landmarks, the minarets, into something that has more of a purpose in terms of these aspects, whether it's the warning signs or storms and giving us messages or signals. So if you could tell us a little bit more about that, that was a very fascinating idea.
I got the idea because the minaret actually in design, in architecture design of the masjid, the minaret is, if the masjid is in a height, the minaret is supposed to be uh, three times the height of the mosque. So it's usually this portion of height. So it's usually very high. So it can. I was thinking in the beginning of having it as a collector of wind, collecting energy from wind, if it's possible.
Hmm.
But the but it, by 2025, if it can collect, like the wind tower. But
Hmm.
then I thought maybe someone in the future will have this concept because usually, it can collect energy and it can be a combination of anything. But for me, collecting data and information, it is more important because, a lot of people in the um, there was this thing about the in neighborhood, actually in neighborhood, as an urban planner, you need to have these information about the change of weather, how things will change, and it will help you to have as much data as you can. And the masjid is very important because you have so many mosques all around, everywhere, and you can, and they are in different heights. So imagine how much information if you have um, some of the sensors there, what kind of information you can collect. This is for the government itself, about the quality of air, the pollution, anything you want. You just put sensors and get the information that you want you know Even if you put number of people, how many people are walking there, you want to change the urban fabric of the city later on. So whatever you need from these sensors, you can get the sensor, collect information, and tomorrow whatever information you want, you can take it, which is fantastic for the government. As an urban planner, I'm just thinking out loud.
Yes, yes, absolutely. I think that's a very great idea, and so much is possible by thinking about the minarets in a way that can inform us better and generate
Yeah.
data. Um, my ninth question, my second to last question, is about inclusivity and the community. So as the mosque evolves into a multifunctional hub, how can this new design make sure that inclusivity across different genders, age, culture, how do we make sure that it remains inclusive for everybody to feel part of this community and feel more connected with the mosque?
Uh, Actually, from the beginning, the mosque has been part of the community. It did not change from the beginning of masjid up to today. It has been part of the community. So, and it's not to only Muslim. يعني masjid, you can see anyone playing in the inside the masjid is into the Muslims, but outside you can see anyone playing in the landscape area, and the kids. It has been part of the community itself. So when masjid is there, anyone, the kids playing bicycle and playing games. So it's part of the fabric of any community. So young, old, in Ramadan, the iftar of Sa'am, you'll see everyone is gathering. So it has been a strong part of the community until today. So masjid is very, very important place of the community and to all ages, to all, I will not say only the people of the neighborhood, but to even not the people of the neighborhood, to the people who work, laborers, workers who have constructed the community. Then they come celebrate Ramadan, celebrate Eid. So it is an important hub for everyone. So يعني there is no nationality, age, or segment which is not celebrating it. يعني or you cannot divide someone who is not part of it or enjoying it. So it is part of the community.
All right. And now coming to my last question, which is about the future. So, if you could summarize the future mosque of 2050 in one word or one phrase, where you would kind of say, how would you personally represent as an architect, as an urban planner? What is it, that message, or how do you feel in the future? What one should keep in mind about the future mosque?
About the, in one word
In one sentence,
sentence,
just a short, yeah.
I hope it will be like I hope it will be smart and still be a community. Gather the community. I hope a place for community.
All right, thank you. We'll just quickly check if we have any questions from the audience. All right, so as of now, we don't have any questions from the audience, but I'm sure in the following week, as the webinar is displayed out, we will have more questions coming in from those who see it. So with that, I would like to close for today's webinar. Thank you so much, Malak,
Thank
for
you.
sharing your time, your perspective, and your vision with us today. Your exploration of how AI, sustainability, and cultural heritage can come together to reimagine the mosque of 2050 was truly enlightening. It reminded us that faith spaces, like all architecture, evolves with society, and yet their essence remains deeply human and rooted in purpose. A big
Thank you.
thank you as well to everyone who joined us live today. Each session of Designing for the Desert is a chance to learn, reflect, and challenge how we think about building for the future, especially here in the region where design meets resilience every single day. Stay tuned for our next episode as we continue to uncover more layers of sustainable design in arid environments, one conversation at a time. Until then, stay curious, stay climate conscious, and keep designing with purpose. Thank you. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you so much.